My name is Ben Sandbothe, spelled like sand on the beach, B-O-T-H-E, S-A-N-D-B-O-T-H-E. Try spelling that over the phone, doesn't work very well. If you don't have a close experience with death, before lunch, what wakes you up in the morning? Some people it's coffee, for me it's adrenaline. I was born in Texas, don't remember it though. Moved to Colorado when I was just a year old. Grew up in the mountains of Colorado at elevations over 8,000 feet. I loved the sunshine and the mountains and the rocks and being able to play out in the woods. So that kind of set my adventurous spirit, I guess. When I was about 10 years old, we moved from Colorado to Missouri to be closer to family. We had some ATVs to ride around the farm, but I was never allowed to go out of second gear, according to my grandfather and my dad. So maybe there's a little bit of that made me want to go fast later in life because I was kind of restricted being younger. Motorcycles really appeal to me because I feel like they let you explore the world at a really fast pace. If I had the option to go hike a mountain or go ride up on a dirt bike, dude, I'll be up and down before someone's even to the top hiking it. That's just way more fun. I was never allowed to have a motorcycle as a kid, and I was never allowed to buy one when I was in high school or college. But I found a nice loophole when my uncle had to get rid of his motorcycle because his wife didn't want it in the house. So I was like, well, I need that thing. So he gave it to me. Didn't buy it, loophole. Had to go transport it from Colorado back to Missouri, but that was my first motorcycle. It was a street bike, a Yamaha XJ 650 Maxim. Still remember it, still have it. Check 3-4, grande cerveza, por favor. So I really enjoy doing long distance trips just to push myself mentally and physically. I like doing that on the motorcycle. It was a lot of fun. Also enjoyed riding really fast off-road. Start seeing 3 figures on your speedometer. It's a lot of fun. It's risky and gets the adrenaline pumping, that's for sure. What better way to really show people what you can do than on the biggest stage in off-road, which is the Baja 1000. The Baja 1000 is the longest point-to-point off-road race in the world. The Baja Peninsula is 1,200 miles long, and the Baja 1000 usually starts in Ensenada, which is on the northwest side of Baja. Races all the way down to La Paz traditionally. Last year's race, 2017, was 1,134 miles long, all off-road. Once you're released at about midnight, you are allowed to race for 48 hours. If you don't finish in that time zone, you're out of the race, you're DQ'd. The attrition rate is about 50%. Only 50% of the people will finish the race that actually started. So we staggered our team probably about every 100 miles down the race course to allow us to service the bike when we needed to, change a tire if we needed to. We changed the oil halfway. It's all about getting the bike from where you take over to the next person, no matter what it takes. You have to fight through flat tires, engine failures, be prepared to fix the bike when you have to, and most importantly, get your bike to the next rider so you can complete the Baja 1000. So I was heading down to this year's Baja 1000 in my van with my pre-running dirt bike in the back, my leather couch from my living room to crash on. I was set up. I just had to drive from Montana, which is where I lived, all the way down to Baja, California. Piece of cake, right? So it took me 2 days to get down there. The first day I got to just outside of Vegas. Had a nice casino buffet, to fill me up before I took a nice nap and continued on with my driving to California the next day. Man, something didn't sit well with me. My stomach was hurting, having stomach pains, and I woke up the next morning and same thing. I'll just start driving. Started driving and man, it started getting worse and worse. This pain right here in my abdomen that I could not explain. So I get all the way to San Diego, hanging out with some friends, and forced a taco down or two, and I just knew something was wrong. That night I'm up throwing up all night into the bushes outside of my van in San Diego. I had to go to the hospital. I didn't want to, I had to. I thought they were just gonna tell me I ate too much. No, they said you have appendicitis and we need to take it out before it ruptures. Like, whoa. This is a week before the Baja 1000. And all I have visions of is I wanna go pre-run my section, prepare, and go race. And now they're saying I have appendicitis and they have to do surgery. Well, good thing it happened in the States, not down in Baja, or else they'd just given me a Tecate and said, get over it probably. So I went into surgery that night. Pulled my appendix out, tried to start recovering after that. I ate healthy, I drank tons of water, and I just kept walking as much as I could, trying to get my stamina up. I probably put on 20 miles through that hospital, just walking, pacing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Tried as hard as I could and said, I'm going to Mexico. Whether I'm gonna race or not, I don't know, but I'm going. I even asked the doctor before I went, like, can I go race? She said, yeah, sure. She's like, what are you doing? The Baja 1000. We're in San Diego. She doesn't even know what the Baja 1000 is. It's probably part of the reason she said yes. Hey, go for it. What's that? 2 days later, my buddy flies in from Washington and we're going across the border. The next day, I'm pre-running on my dirt bike in Mexico, taking it easy. My kidney belt really helped. It wrapped all the way around and took some pressure off my surgery points. The day of the race, I took over about 7 a.m. All I knew I had to do was get that bike to the next person without wrecking it. So sure enough, probably 3-4 miles into this, I'm like 100 yards off this guy's tail, chasing him in the dust cloud, and this rock just jumps out of nowhere. First thing that goes through my mind is, pull the clutch in, get it back up so it doesn't flood, because you don't want to be kick-starting this thing on the race course while people are breathing down your neck, and then keep going.
Keep it running.
Kept it going, got it stood up, had to bang the handlebars back straight a little bit, but got her going and continued on.
Oh, yeah.
I'd been at it for a little over 2 hours and I knew I was getting close to where my end point was. I was getting within a mile or two of the very finish line, and it ended up passing my crew that had dropped me off and helped me out when I loaded up and left originally. Beat them there to the checkpoint even though they took the highway. That's how I knew I was making great time. Waving to them, yeah! Sure enough, pulled over right where the next rider change was, flagged me down, talked to the next rider, slapped him on the back, and off he went off into the wilderness and left me there with all my adrenaline pumping and sweat everywhere, and just accomplishment was the best feeling in the world. Ended up finishing 13th in our class. If I were to be remembered for something on this earth, I'd want to be remembered for that guy who went out and did what he wanted against maybe certain odds. I don't want to miss out on something because I'm stuck in an office somewhere making money for someone else. Life is dang short. Only gets shorter if you're doing stuff that you don't want to do for someone else. I'm the kind of guy that if I want something enough, I'll go get it. I want to make my dream come true. Riding in the Baja took me over 2 years to make happen. I'm so happy that I did though. If it makes you happy, go do it. I've got my dirt bike in my van, my couch in my van, kind of just touring the country and seeing what comes my way.